Dr. Sana, are you ready for your presentation? Dr. Sana is going to be doing a presentation on the regional variations in the care of premature infants. Dr. Suleiman Sana, please come and share your expertise with us, and thank you for this presentation. Ladies and applause for Dr. Sana. Thank you.
So good evening, everyone, and welcome to our ongoing fundraiser, and of course, our first meeting here in Detroit. Pastor, next slide, please. So my talk tonight will be on regional variation in the care of newborns. So basically, as I'm going through these slides, I'm trying to bring to life to people in this audience today, especially our Minister of Health, what has made the healthcare system in this country where we are today. And somehow, what can we do to mimic what we are doing here? Hopefully, when the ability, the possibility comes to us in our beloved country, Sierra Leone. So, as we all know, premature birth, which leads to babies who are very premature, can cause so many problems. And so we look into the causes of premature birth. One of the primary causes of that is women's health. Because the woman is not very healthy to carry pregnancy to 40 weeks, then clearly baby has been born prematurely and causes all these problems. So one of the things I'm trying to address here is, I'll start with the woman. What can we do for a woman to prevent premature birth? And that is, there's a particular disease in women called preeclampsia or eclampsia, where the woman will have very high blood pressure, lot of headache, kidney dysfunction, liver dysfunction. If the baby is not delivered, she will die. So what can we do to cure something that's like that? So we can give magnesium to prevent preeclamptic seizure. Also, you can use any medicine for her blood pressure to control her blood pressure. And when it's really needed for her to be delivered, they deliver her because sometimes the woman's life comes first. Another issue with premature delivery is how to prevent premature birth itself. So sometimes what causes preterm labor or premature delivery or premature birth is when the woman's uterus goes into activity to the point that it has to be delivered. So what they can do is to give medication to stop that uterine overactivity. That's called tocolysis. So they give some medicine called indomethacin or nifedipine to control the contraction of the uterus so that it relaxes and stop the premature birth. Also, there are some things in women, if a woman breaks her water early, the uterus becomes very exposed to infection, and when it's infected, it goes into preterm labor and deliver. So if you take care of that mature membrane and try to stop the infection by giving antibiotics to prevent infection, most likely she won't go to the point of delivering early. Also, whenever one comes in with the possibility of early delivery, the baby has to prepare in case he or she is born. And of everything that's really very important is the lung maturity, the maturity of the lung. Because the lung is the first exposure of the baby to the outside world. So they can give a steroid to the mom to try to kind of basically, Pastor, next slide please. Good. So how does the steroid work? The steroid actually works by trying to enhance the structural maturity of the premature baby's lung. It actually induces differentiation of tissues in the lung. It also accelerates production and secretion of surfactant, which is a main substance that makes the lung to be very compliant. Also, it decreases vascular permeability, so there's less fluid in the lung, and can also cause compliance and maximum lung volume. Next slide, please. Now, that's still taking care of preterm labor. Now, also for a woman. So there's a law in this country called EMTALA, the Emergency Medical Treatment and Active Labor Act. It's a Congress law which passed that any healthcare system, any health center that gets dedicated money, you are obliged to treat anybody who walks into your doors, independent of her status, illegal status, independent of her ability to pay. You are obliged to treat that person. So meaning that anybody coming, even including a pregnant woman. So meaning that if the pregnant woman is pregnant, she has to be cared for properly. Next slide, please. Now, also besides taking care of the woman, there are certain protocols in every delivery center in this country that anybody who's involved in the care of newborn has to have some skills. Meaning that she has to be able to take care of, or he or she has to be able to take care of the baby who is born premature or who is born mature has difficulty breathing. That's what we call that the NRP, the National Institute Program, which is done by all delivery attendants, everybody taking care of newborn babies. This certificate is done every 2 years because there has to be no half of anyone who takes care of a newborn baby if you cannot try to recover the baby in case it has problem breathing. Also, every delivery center has to have equipment, ambuba, and industrial materials, laryngoscopes, ET all these things have to be ready because the need is there. There has to be somebody who can lift up the baby so the baby doesn't go get to die. Also, every delivery room has to be warm enough to prevent hypothermia in babies. Next slide, please. Now, let's say the baby becomes premature. Everything is done to prevent premature birth, but then there's no chance, there's no baby is delivered. Of everything in these babies is heat control called thermoregulation. Because when they are very premature, they cannot keep the body warm. They have very leaky skin. This can lead to dehydration. Because the skin is so immature that when exposed to the outside world, it can just leak water. And by doing that, they get dehydrated, they will lose weight, they will have cracks in the skin, and when they have cracks in the skin, that will cause infection, and they can easily die. I have gone to so many trips to say that I know. I go to some SCBU, one care baby unit. See babies lying outside in open green. They're supposed to be in an isolate, an incubator to prevent heat loss. So this is very important. That's why in this country, because of those advances, babies are small as they could be, they can survive. They are maturing. They are also, and the reason they are trying to keep them warm, because there's something called energy balance. Those who are in chemistry or physics here, something called energy balance. The energy meant for growth. If you use it to maintain heat, then it will be very expensive to the baby. Because the energy meant for growth of the brain, your bodily growth, and also your actual metabolic process. If you use that on heat consumption or heat conservation, that's not good. So in the years, what has been done to take care of some of this thermographic problem is by having very good incubators. See, these small babies, they'll be in that incubator as long as they need it. They die with high humidity to prevent any external water loss. And also, they can also use very powerful skin protectants to make sure that their skin is not exposed to dryness and cause cracks. And also, if they are dry, the doctors will take care of them. They know proper management. So they are quite aware of what they need, what's the amount of water they are losing, so they will remain in a water balance. Next slide, please. Now, this is a picture of the incubator I was talking about. So these boxes are like warm. The woman's womb. They are very warm in, they go in here, well cared, maintain their temperatures until they are big enough to be weaned from these. And also, they have very, very tough skin protectors called mepitel, which can minimize skin breakdown, minimize water loss from these babies. They also have knee pads because they are fragile skin. These are all done to prevent excessive water loss and which can make them die. Next slide, please. Now, besides heat control and heat problem, also breathing problem. This means they have very immature lung, which lacks surfactant, which is a mineral in the baby's lung that is the baby lung compliant. Because they lack it, that's not good. The X-ray here you can see will show what we call as ground glass appearance. That's a sign of baby lacking what he or she needs to have for the lung to work properly. In every unit here, every small unit here, we have that substance. If we find babies are lacking that substance, we give it to them, we intubate them, give it to them, and extubate them and see how they do. If they have breathing effort, we put them on a very gentle ways of breathing machine, or if they can't breathe at all, we put them on a ventilator. Next slide, please. Now, these are the various modalities of breathing support. From a very high flow cannula, from a CPAP, and a ventilator. These are all based on how baby is, how sick baby is. We're able to grade them based on what they need. Next slide, please. And these are the bigger, let us call it, high frequency oscillators. These are for very sick babies who have either pulmonary iliac syndrome, who have pneumothorax, or those who have hypoxemic respiratory failure. Next slide, please. And also, anybody in this field has to be well skilled in how to take care of these babies. Because these babies, they have no drive, they have no reserve. If you don't intubate them, they will die. So people in this area have to be able to properly gauge them and see what they need. If they have to be intubated, they must be intubated. And there has to be a crew of making sure that that tube is in a good place. And also, because if the tube goes into the wrong place, it can cause collapse upon the lungs and can cause them more trouble. And also, even for the ventilators, they are very, very well calibrated in a way that if you use them properly, it can do more harm than good to the point. For instance, in this baby, if you look at the blood gas and you blow it all that comes outside, that will cause confusion of the brain blood vessels and cause severe bleeding in the brain, and they can die. Next slide, please. Also, there has to be an availability of oxygen supply. Because you cannot run this kind of babies anywhere in the world without oxygen supply. Because these babies cannot get oxygen by themselves. They have to have oxygen source. So these are the various tubes, laryngoscopes, and tubes we use to intubate them. And these are the ways we prove whether they're intubated or not. Next slide, please. The other issue with this baby is that because they are so small, initially they cannot feed, they can't eat, they can't swallow. So they have to depend wholly and solely on enteral nutrition, feeding them through their veins. So initially when they are born, in the first week of life, we use their belly button they have some central lines in there. We have the umbilical artery and vein. We put in central lines in those small veins until they are big enough. So they have people who want to do this, have to be very skilled in these procedures. Because if you don't get this line in them, you cannot take care of them. And some of them are so small, even a soldier cannot put line in them. So these I think are people who are highly skilled in management of giving them these central lines in their small vein. And every time is just like these babies, you have to make sure that the lines are in a good place. Because if you go in the wrong place, it will cause them more trouble than good. Next slide, please. As you can see here, so I'm seeing here a nomogram or a list of different settings. The first one actually, a baby who is born, we put in central line, umbilical and venous line. But then we were in the wrong place, X-ray was wrong. There has to be X-rays available, ready to check this position, because if they stay in the wrong place for a long time, they cause them more harm than good. So here on this first diagram, these lines are in the wrong place. From X-ray, we knew where they are, we fixed them, they are good now. In this other place, we take line, which is the secondary line, also in the wrong place, we knew about it was fixed. Next slide, please. So what I'm trying to address here is that there has to be the ability to do things, and also the ability to cross-check them in case they are done wrong. Now, the other thing also is that is the feeding in this baby. As you all know, any gestation below 8.5 months, the best feeding for them is breast milk, mom's breast milk. But some women, for some reason, they cannot produce breast milk. So the beauty of this country is that we have donor breast milk banks. Women who have excess supply of milk they can go and supply their milk to milk banks. The milk banks will get milk purified, checked, so that they can be stored for years. And they are checked to the point that they cannot cause infection to those that supply. And then they sell these milk banks or donor breast milk to different small units in the country. So major hospitals in the country buy this milk from these centers and give them to the babies free because you cannot feed them with formula. But then, even though they have mom's breast milk, donor breast milk as a protectant against any tummy infection, but sometimes you'll have a severe tummy infection called necrotizing enterocolitis, which is very, very bad. So what happens in this disease, the baby's tummy gets infected, it goes necrotic, it goes to clotting. So they have to have surgeons for small babies who are highly specialized in the care of babies. Next slide, please. Now this is an example of somebody, a baby who has severe tummy infection, and the kid has a bowel necrosis. You have to get in, cut the gut, remove the necrotic area of the gut, leave the two viable sides open, they form ostomy and mucous fistula. And those babies will be left with no continuity of the GI tract for almost 2 months until when they're big enough, they'll try to get the anastomose or the cut gut, and you'll have a continuous GI tract, and then they can leave. Next, please. The other issue with these babies is infection. Because they are so premature, they have no immunity, particularly in the very small months. So what happens when they get infected, they can easily die. But because of a combined work between the advanced babies doctors and children's and pediatric infectious disease dogs who control babies' infection, work together as a team to make sure that we take care of this infection. For instance, an example here is that also they have to have a very robust microbiology lab that cannot only determine whether a bug is there or not, but also try to categorize the bug to the very, very finest point. So they need to try to narrow the antibiotics so that, because what happens in most parts of the world, the reason people can be on antibiotics and they cannot be cured because they have antibiotic resistance. So what happens because of this robust microbiology lab, they're able to narrow down this treatment to particular antibiotic for any particular bug. And to prolong these treatments, also they have to have central line in place. So that's why it's very important for them to have central line, because you cannot keep putting IV in the small vein. They have to have a prolonged central line to take care of these infections. For instance, so let's say you really get sick. I'm on product D. You really get sick. I say, oh, something's going to do me. What I'll send blood culture on the baby, start antibiotic, spectral antibiotics. But then when it comes back, say positive or gram positive or gram negative, I'll take out all gram antibiotic and leave with gram negative. But then I'll step further, I'll go ahead and also look for the sensitivity. So I'll try to clearly narrow down that treatment to a particular antibiotic, to a particular bug. These are all because of the help of robust microbiology system. Next slide, please. Also, we have to have a good blood bank, a good chemistry lab. The blood bank, see, they are very small. They can easily lose blood, become anemic. They need blood. So they have to have a blood bank system in place. So when blood is needed, it's arrived and it's delivered. And also, hospitals around the area, they can share information, they can share blood. So let's see, hospital A has blood, or B has blood, or B has a need. Then it goes to B. So that at least there's no way things are short. Next slide, please. Also, social services. It could be a mom, but you are needy. So every delivery center has women or social workers who can look into the needs of this mom, because let me make sure when these are born and they grow, when they go home, they have a proper home setting. So that if those parents, if they have any need of any sort, either cash need, housing need, that's addressed because the system puts a lot of money to this baby. So when they get healthier and they go home, they want to be in a very good environment where they can thrive. Or there's any element of suspicion of improper home stuff for this parent. Let's say they want something. Say they want a drug user. The mom actually, this goal is trying to teach people who are taking care of babies when they are delivered to make sure that they are able to help them to breathe in the middle. They go through some training, video shows, or practical stuff, so that when they have the time to see a baby who needs some help, the baby is helped. Next slide, please. So these are some pictures of things we did over the years in Sierra Leone of some of our students. Next slide, please. So over the past, 5 years now, in 2029 and in 2020, we trained 95 all over the country. In 2022, of course, 2021 was COVID, so we didn't go. But in 2022, we trained 295, 24. In 2023, we trained 379 caretakers. In 2024, this past February, we trained 273. Basically, we've been to every province in the country. In the western area, in eastern province, southern province, and northern province. Next slide, please. No, jump. Wow. That's all. Good. So because we've done so well doing it, so people who we trained over the past year are now training their own people. Because we don't want to go and train them, we give them the tools to go out to their communities and train their colleagues. So this is an example of those in Samaling and Banajuma in your district, or people who trained the past year. They are now carrying on their own actual training of their people. Next slide, please. This is a very important slide. So you say HPV training and total neonatal death due to asphyxia in Sierra Leone 2021, 2024, the WHO and other measuring agencies. So it's believed that between 2021 there were 2,549 deaths due to asphyxia. In 2022 there were 2,512. So basically over the years has been going down over the years. So basically it's believed that between 2021 and 2024 there were 355, there was a reduction of 355 deaths due to asphyxia because of the effectiveness of healthy babies breed program. So that's kudos. Give us a hand. Next slide, please. So actually, this is an example of what happened when a baby is born and nobody is there to help him or her if he needs some help. This is a video when we went to Royal Car and our 2022-23 mission. So I was there as the person of this day. So somebody was to me. And so before I interviewed with the grandma, this baby was born. One was trying to go to this community health center for delivery. She could not get there. The baby was born on the way, and she had a mouth full of water. He could not breathe. He had asphyxia. So he's now 4 years old, not toilet trained, cannot walk, cannot talk. Everything is on the ground now. Very sad. Next slide, please. So besides just other things in Sierra Leone, also involved in capacity building, trying to improve the system. This is us here actually giving books to Dr. Nelly Bell at Olotole Children's Hospital for her pediatric residency program. To my close friend. Also supplying their skill lab with mannequins, with local puncture and IV mannequins kits to help their residents get this skill. Next slide, please. Also teaching them in practical stuff. I'm teaching them here how to basically take care of a pneumothorax on a baby in SCBU who's on CPAP who might develop pneumothorax. Because that's a complication. Next slide, please. And also in the OBGYN resident, Dr. Adeneke, who is the professor of OBGYN of the close friend, will be working with him through ourselves, which is Sierra Leone. We give them books and also we send a book to them, even to give remote lectures. The chairman, of course, can do to that. But that has been a problem because of the Wi-Fi system in the country. I think they have to improve on their fiber optic system to make this possible. And also here also we are in Jalal University College with Dr. Professor Rashid Azumana, teaching their residents, their students, and also giving them his management. Next slide, please. Yeah, also, we're also involved in the infrastructural support of places like the Bo Children's Hospital in Bo. There's a guy there called Dr. Vandi Sombi who passed away years ago. So we made a GoFundMe for him, raised some funds, and got for them some laptop and oxygen concentrators. Next slide, please. Here also, we are here with, so I also work with so many SCBUs in the country, including Bo, Pujong, everywhere. We are here with Dr. Joy Nelly, who is the SCBU lady, Dr. taking out Bo and Mayamba SCBU. We will give them supplies of what they need when we arrive down there. Next slide, please. Also, we are also here with Pujong. This is our wonderful Pastor Israel, who is now remotely controlling our slides. But that we are in Pujong. Thank bless you, Pastor Israel. Next slide, please. We are also here in Kenima and Makeni SCBU. So we try to basically, we can't be there physically. We will do everything in our way, in our own way. We try to bring to our country this kind of help. Next slide, please. And this is also the donation from the Rotary Club, and just tell you, even Rotary Club, our partner group, also had a solar system at Kinyama Hospital to provide power to the STV. Because one of the common occurrences there is distributors will be on CPAP, and that goes up, and they die because with CPAP, non-light can't work. So it goes up, it's the death of the babies. But hopefully some of these things are working now. Also, we have this Kinihama solar unit project, which gives them some oxygen tanks for the ICU, and also the buckets to Mama King Foundation. Next slide, please. And thank you all. If you have any questions, we are open to that.
Thank you, Doc. If I may shed some light on what Dr. Sama is saying, he's obviously the specialized person in this field. This is helping babies breathe. It's almost like CPR. This is a low-tech management skills that's trained to some of these providers in the villages that really will save lives. Because if you could prevent some of these issues before the patient gets infection or asphyxia, obviously, you can tell some of those advanced intubation machines and stuff, we don't have it. So if we could expand on this program, and I'm glad the Deputy Minister is here, and he can see that this is something that we might have to work hard and expand these basic skills. It's almost like CPR. When these type of things happen in some of these villages, that it can be prevented from going towards to certain where we cannot make a difference. So, Dr. Sano, thank you so much for the work you're doing and training the trainers and making a difference in decreasing the mortality rate for the kids, especially the kids under 2 years old. And obviously, like I said earlier today, our medical missions are possible because of our partners that provide support and gives us equipment and funding, medications, and all the medical supplies that we have. We have such a person here today, Dr. George Sampson. He is the president of the World Medical Relief. Give Dr. Sampson a big round of applause, guys. Dr. Sampson. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
This evening, I can see that so many kind-hearted people. That's the reason why I'm here tonight. And I can see a lot of interest around here to support Leone. First, I would like to greet Dr. Charles Lizzie, the Deputy Minister of Health of Leone, the Ambassador Ambassador Wade, Ambassador Leone, and of course, our World Medical League Ambassador, Dr. Michael Pierre. Dr. Michael Pierre was appointed World Medical League Ambassador, the first ambassador to Sierra Leone. That's him. At World Medical League, we appointed ambassadors in each country. Credibility, who believe in division work, and people who really care. That's why we chose Dr. Pierre to be our ambassador. In 1953, there's this woman who saw the victims of the war in Korea. And Irene Oberlin, that's her name, is the founder of World Medical Relief, and she was touched by the victims of the war. And there was only one particular orphan that she wanted to help. This orphan is fathered by an American GI who was left in the orphanage. And the founder, Irene Oberlin, started collecting food, over-the-counter medicine, supplies, and anything she thought they could use in the orphanage, like Dr. Pierre is doing. And World Medical League, from one country, grew tremendously to more than 100 countries. As a matter of fact, we are celebrating our 71 year this coming November. We have local programs, and we have international. The local programs we have, these are also to support the people who live here in Michigan. We help a lot of homeless shelters in Michigan. We work with 72 homeless shelters. And that's entirely different scope under the local program. We have medication for them, we have waited to them. We have the hygiene kids, school kids. And we have the village program. And we support them with suitable medical equipment as well. Now, under the international, in which World Medical League started, we work with the international program. We support medical missionaries when they travel overseas. They bring medicine with them. We support them with instruments and any medical supplies. And that's how I met Dr. Pierre more than 20 years ago. We have containers. We send overseas containers to different countries. Last year, we shipped out 70 containers all over the world. And under the international program, we have the pacemaker program. The pacemaker program, these are the devices that they implant to human body, especially if they have heart problems. And we have this research with the University of Michigan Cardiovascular Center to prove to the FDA that the used pacemakers can be reused because they have 10 to 12 years battery span. Because the FDA said before, those devices are only for one-time use only. But because of the brilliant research of the Cardiovascular Center at the University of Michigan, in which Dr. Eagle is our founder himself, is the founder for this research, we were able to secure an FDA clearance to help for people outside the United States. We collected pacemakers from all over the country. As of now, we have, I would say, almost 80,000 pacemakers. And based on the research, 1.4 million people, they die, especially in Africa. They die because they don't have any access to use pacemakers. We don't sell this. They implanted these devices. We provide these pacemakers, and of course, we'll be able to extend the lives of the people. So under this pacemaker program, we mentioned this Dr. Care. If you include this pacemaker program in your project, if they need pacemakers in Africa, especially in Sierra Leone, the right person to contact is Dr. Pierre. In 2018, we launched the first and only pacemaker lab in the whole world. It's right here at the World Medical League. It's right here in Southfield. We used to be located in Detroit for more than 25 years until we moved here in Southfield 8 years ago. And as I said, I keep on mentioning Dr. Pierre. I came to know him more than 20 years ago. He knows our building where we used to be located. We have 3,000 volunteers. We have partnership with different universities. They're sending their medical students, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, retired, active, and then how much volunteers we have. Because I can see that when it comes to medical mission, I truly believe that you are really a big part of saving lives. The volunteers we have, just like this morning, we have like more than almost 70 volunteers from different universities, Auckland University, University of Michigan, Wayne State University. They all come to work regularly every weekend, and especially during the week. You might ask, where do we get these supplies? Where do we get the medical equipment? Where do we get the medicine? Well, we have partners with Beaumont, with Cornwell, the Henry Ford, Ascension, University of Michigan, Carolinas, Harvard Hospital, DMC, Children's Hospital, and others. And World Medical is the only non-profit agency, by the way, that the repository for cancer medication. If you need, one day, if you need cancer medicine for our friends or relatives in Leone, please let us know how we can help. Right now, currently, we're shipping containers to Lebanon. I know you know what's going on in Lebanon. And there's so many people who are devastated, and they left the country, and we've been helping any countries that in need of help. So we sent this morning or yesterday truckloads of assorted medical supplies in boxes to their cargo, like 15 pallets, to help the victims of the war. World Medical is a non-profit political organization. We help everyone in need to relieve human suffering. The strength of World Medical Relief are the volunteers, just like the medical missionaries here, the volunteers. We recorded more than 3,000 volunteers and yearly minimum of 2,500. Our volunteers are truly the angels because they bring hope to the sick, the poor, and the needy of the world. When we were in the building, I gave a tour to our founder. She was in her wheelchair. And she said, George, call the volunteers of World Medical League Angels of Mercy. And why is that? Because they bring hope to the hopeless. And I believe that the most benevolent purpose of God to mankind is by serving others. I so strongly believe that working together, as Dr. Pierre said, we can achieve our goal to help the sick poor in Sierra Leone. We can strengthen our partnership, the healthcare of Sierra Leone and the World Medical League to reach out and alleviate the sufferings of the needy to the country where you came from. Like me, I came from the Philippines, and I know the feeling of being sick poor because I saw a lot of misery at the time. I believe our collaboration will benefit the people in Sierra Leone. And our World Medical League Ambassador, Dr. Pei, who is such a great man who's concerned of the sick poor. We are preparing a shipment, by the way, for 40-foot containers load of medical supplies and medical equipment. When he came with Miss Bridget, Hammett, and Byron, they came to World Medical League and talked to me. They talked to me about the needs for Sierra Leone. And also upon hearing Dr. Sulaiman's about the need of intubation, CPAP, NGT, everybody during this work, we have tons and tons of those. So we will support the mission. The commitment of World Medical Relief for the purpose of your mission, our collaboration, we're looking at least $2 million for your containers to be sent out soon. Right?
That's
We will take care of that. And I can offer you very nice respiration machines that came. So it's been prepared. We know that we will be receiving those on EKG machines and cardiac monitors as well. And keep on the good work. Keep on the good work, Dr. Perry, and all your members and officers. Because I believe in the Psalm 41, they said are those who care for the sick poor, because they will be blessed in the land. And you will be blessed in the land. You will be blessed in the land. Our founder, Mary Leone, died at the age of 103, serving humanity. She even donated her body to Wayne State School of Medicine for study. And she was one of the stunning women in the state of Michigan. She believed in giving up to the end. It is truly amazing when you help others. Joy and fulfillment overcome our lives. It is a well-meaning mission work. Help us help them for the people of Sierra Leone. My favorite verse, like he said here, success in life has nothing to do with what we have or accomplish in life, but it is what we have done for others. I will be very happy to share also the three virtues of our mission, which I believe represent our own values: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. But love is meaningless without charity. And charity is meaningful with love. We have to show the people of Sierra Leone, we have to show the Project Healthcare of Sierra Leone that we care about this project because we care about your country in Sierra Leone. It is easy to say I love you, but if you don't give, it's meaningless. Love means giving. Helping is love. Medical mission is love because charity exists. I applaud the officers and members of this memorable annual giving and fundraiser for the sick poor in Sierra Leone event tonight, for you are going to bring hope to the people there. You are indeed and entitled to be called angels of mercy. Just keep our virtues, faith, hope, and charity. May God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sampson, for the work World Medical Relief is doing. You guys are doing God's work. Guys, give Dr. Sampson a big round of applause for the work you're doing. And Dr. Sampson, I will tell you that you will be hearing from Dr. Pierce soon, because we do need lots of pacemakers. I am familiar with a case about a year ago of a family that has symptomatic bradycardia, that the family had to raise funds. Took them over a year to raise funds, over $20,000 to send their mother to Turkey. You can imagine people are scraping money over 1 year to get $20,000 to transport that young person, she was 65-year-old lady, to Turkey, where World Medical Relief this could be done for free in Sierra Leone. And we are grateful for the support World Medical Relief was given to Sierra Leone, as well as the work they've been doing. Thank you so much, Dr. Sampson. Some housekeeping things we need to take care of. Give us a nurse practitioner's role in healthcare in Sierra Leone. Thank you, Fidel.
Thank you, Dr. Sherry. Good evening, everyone, and thank you. We cannot thank you enough for coming. Every dollar you donate is going to help people in Africa. The money you give us, we're going to use to buy medication. So when we go see people in the villages we'll go to, in the towns we go to, they can have free medications. Most people don't know they have blood pressure. They might have been given medicine way back, but when the medicine ends, the treatment ends. So everyone needs it. Whatever you can do, please donate. My next topic is going to be the role nurse practitioners play as a whole. We have a lot of Sierra Leonean nurse practitioners in America, London, and other places. But unfortunately, we cannot work in Sierra Leone because they don't have us within the system. So our goal today is to explain to the minister what we can do, how we can help the medical system to help with this shortage they're dealing with. Let me pull out my notes.
Gather pictures into the phone.
The integration of nurse practitioners in primary care, psych mental health, ER, acute care settings, telehealth, and several other settings where most times, most places in the north, they work by themselves without collaborations. Places in the south, they work with collaborations. Nurse practitioners are nurses who have masters or doctorates or even PhD level education. They know what they're doing, they have immense experience. They're not just people coming off the streets and practicing, they've already walked on the floor as nurses. So when they go get their master's or PhD or DNP, they already have the experience to back up what they're doing. Nurse practitioners will enhance and help greatly in the shortages Sierra Leone is experiencing for medical professionals. We are a cost-effective way of helping break the gap you have for medical professionals. You can train a nurse practitioner within an 6-year period compared to medical doctors who have to do 10, 12 years with hundreds of thousands in student loan. So use us, we are available, and you will benefit from it. The people in Sierra Leone will benefit from it. We have few examples to give you in South Africa, for instance, when the AIDS epidemic was all over the country. In order to get it under control, the country decided to implement nurse practitioners. They were the people that handled the HIV clinic. In Ghana, they used the nurse practitioners in rural health to help take medical care to people in those areas that don't have medical doctors practicing. In Ghana, nurse practitioners are working in primary care and rural care. And in America, we can function. Most of my nurse practitioner co-workers who want to retire back home are in the psych field, are thinking of going back there and opening practices and also working from Sierra Leone, seeing their psych patient in America. But in order for us to function, we will love to help in the teaching sector, we will love to help in the community, but we need for the country to include us within their system. So when I practice, I don't get in trouble saying I'm practicing outside the scope, because they don't have my scope in Sierra Leone. So we will appreciate me greatly, Ambassador, and Deputy Health Minister, if you can take that to them. Whatever we need to do to get a point across the parliament or wherever we need to take it, we're willing to put in the work so we can get Nurse Practitioner Act in Sierra Leone. Thank you for what you're doing so far, and we're looking forward to hearing more from you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Frida, for your presentation there. And obviously, you can imagine a country like the US with all its resources is leveraging advanced nurse practitioners to provide and fill the gaps in the delivery of healthcare services in the US. So if a big country with the US with all its resources are using these advanced nurse practitioners to provide quality health care services in the U.S. I think Sierra Leone, with a patient to doctor ratio, which is about 136 to 1,000, should leverage that. And these are conversations we had with the Deputy Minister. He's excited about that. He's want to champion this goal. So some of our hardworking nurse practitioners within the U.S. who are ready to retire and go back and give back. This is the time that I need to beg you guys for your hard work and dollar. We're doing a brief fundraiser now to the organization. So whatever penny or dollars that you write to us is tax deductible, and you'll be able to get those tax deductions. And just by you guys being here, that tells us that you are one of our foot soldiers, and you believe in the services that Healthcare Sierra Leone is providing, and you guys will be able to donate, so we'll be able to sustain, continue this God's work.
Good evening, good evening, good evening again. We'll be going from table to table asking for donations. So if you have your checkbook with you, you can have it ready. If you have we have Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal. Whatever means of payment you have, we can even take Donations, if you don't have the money now, you can call one of us and send the check in later. We have addresses and anywhere you can give us, we'll take it. So let's go on.
lusa@gmail.com. And if you're one of those cash out people, you can give $HCSLUSA, and PayPal is $HCSLUSA. And again, thank you guys. We'll be begging you throughout this evening for your support, for us to continue doing this, continue doing the work that we're doing in Sierra Leone.
Was actually put together by one of my confidants, a lady I've worked with in the intensive care unit. I became her mentor. I also represented her in the school to defend when she was defending her dissertation for her PhD in nursing. Madam Nicole Taylor. She's also volunteered to be a patron today. Thank you very much. This is going to be very short because I really don't want to keep you here talking medical terminology the whole night and things like that. If you have questions, you can ask me. In January, we were in Sierra Leone, and another team of healthcare professionals presented to us a 12-year-old child who was having shortness of breath and had bilateral pitting edema, swelling of his lower extremities. His mother said he cannot lay down flat. He will get short of breath, and sometimes when he wakes up from sleep, he feels like he's fainting, and he has some chest pain. To dwell in the history of this child, we found out that he has a series of sore throats. And in Sierra Leone, we have a lot of doctors on the streets, in their bedrooms, and they were treating this child with all sorts of antibiotics, but not the right one. So he kept getting this problem of fever, chest pain, for some time. It was referred to our colleague at the Children's Hospital, who promptly said, probably this child needs proper evaluation. You know, we are very limited in evaluating cases like this, and I assume there are a lot of cases like this which are occurring in prison, and we are losing them because they don't hardly go to the hospital, but there is no perfect way of finding what is wrong. He decided to do a 2D echo, an ultrasound. Wanted to check the heart to see the functions and the valves. When you look at the valves, there's a valve on the left side of your heart. When the blood comes from your left atrium, goes through that valve, it opens, you have two leaflets, and gets into your ventricle, then through the aorta, go to all the parts of the body. His vessel was so narrow, it was less than 1.5 centimeters square. And we believe that is why he was having the problem. Well, we decided to do something. How can we save this child? Because if we don't do something, it's going to die. We got the team, and our team got together. The child was sent to a cardiology hospital in Kenya, where they decided to replace this valve, they call it the mitral valve. They replaced it with a mechanical valve. Now, this is a challenge. When you do that, any patient will have about 5 years survival, 5%. and mortality increases in time. But the challenge is, we do not have the medications in Freetown, and if we do, we have to monitor what we call INR, and we don't have the machines to do that. And this case was brought to my colleagues in healthcare. You know, we are all philanthropists, humanitarians, and we all resulted in that we have to have this child. So the surgery was successful, and they brought the child back to Freetown. We don't know where it came from. But because of what we do, my organization bought the INR machine, and their own money is 23 million Leones, which is $1,000. And we bought a year worth of scripts because it has to be checked every week. Because we have a range where we need to keep his blood levels, otherwise we have, thrombos, we have some other complications. Dr. Sano and Dr. Sheriff were very good. They came to me, we have to help this child. And they provided 2 years supply of warfarin, which was shipped to Freetown. So the child is being checked every week. He's doing well, he's not short of breath anymore. But we have to keep taking care of this child for the rest of his life. And I believe healthcare Sierra Leone will do that as long as we live. And again, once again, thank you, Lord. Just a brief discussion about what was wrong with this child. It's what we call in medicine mitral stenosis. Again, the valve should be open between 4 to 6 centimeters. When you get narrow and that, you start having backflow of blood. You have increase in pulmonary hypertension, you have pulmonary edema, and what you get right heart failure, and of course, what they may have, the most serious complication at the time before irregular heartbeat. You know what that is? Atrial fibrillation, we call it in medicine. So we have to keep an eye on this child. But we live here in America, the child is in Sierra Leone. But because of technology that we have in this country, and with our training, we are taking care of this child. We want to prevent these complications. And we know there are a lot of women who are dying in childbirth because of mitral stenosis that has not been diagnosed. And in this country, we try to even tell them, beware when you get pregnant if you have A, B, C of this stenosis, whether you should have a childbirth or not, because we respect a woman's rights to have anything to do with her body. But when the life of a woman is in danger, we will advise otherwise. So our goal is, with Healthcare Sierra Leone, is to continue to prevent this child from developing these complications like this AFib or thrombos, and that's why we have to give these medications to him for the rest of his life. We decided to present this to you for you to know that we are a group of people who don't care where you come from, who you are, whether you're black, white, green, or yellow. We are all children of God. And we want to continue to help people like these in Sierra Leone. We have many of them. It's just that we don't diagnose the cases, but we have the equipment and we have the doctors who work on it. We can be able to diagnose these cases. I have a lot of things here to talk about how patients present. Like I said, I want to make it very short because if I say I'm going through all the slides, you may be mad and get up and go. But briefly, as we said, we want keep the INI in the range of 2.5 to 3.5. So this child has to be seen every week. You know, his parents have no money, so healthcare Australia is taking care of this child. His parents coming back and forth. That is a great job, and I really applaud this for what they are doing. We have to keep an eye. We got to tell them what to do. Exercise. You know, if you don't exercise, your heart will not work better, and they may have a thrombus. They may have this atrial fibrillation. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this. My friends, I don't want to belabor you with medical terminology, but I think you understand that if you have strep throat, which is very prevalent in developing countries, we don't usually see it here because we do the right thing, I hope, but it's very prevalent in third world countries, and this type of surgery is not really prevalent in this country because we hardly see mitral stenosis around that. The data from the American College of Cardiology, American Heart Association says that prevalence is very minimal here, but we do have it in Sierra Leone. So we need to help. The Ministry of Health in Sierra Leone, who train the doctors in Sierra Leone to provide some of these things. One of the things I would like to ask you, Mr. Minister, is for us to have this little guidance in all the clinics like the IMI. And that should be able to prevent people from dying. And at least 1-2 echo machine in each of our hospitals. Every patient is have the right. Those of us who are 65 and more, you have to check your heart valve. If not, if you're walking from here, going over there, you just drop dead. What's wrong with you? We don't know. And it's a very essential. We can help you if you walk with us. So, Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Minister, this is our approach. Pastor Israel, thank you very much. I don't want to talk too long because I don't want the people to run away. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pierre. And again, to support what Dr. Pierre is saying, this is a case that Healthcare Sierra Leone is currently managing. As you tell what Dr. Pierre said, we're going to be providing free medications for this young man who's 12 years old for the rest of his life. Or hopefully he grows up and does well for himself. He's able to provide this medication for himself. But obviously, we are able to do this type of work because of the donations we receive for people like you in here. And thank you for those of you who have donated and those of you who have donated in the past. This young man is actually very lucky to be diagnosed with aortic valve stenosis and had opportunity to travel overseas to get surgery and come back and get it. He looks very healthy, he's doing well, he's grown up pretty well, and he's getting his medications, and he's a lot of work being monitored. And he had a lot of competing events. He just came from Sierra Leone within the last 48 hours just to grace this occasion. And we're grateful for him prioritizing to be here with us with all his competing events there. And as well as the Honorable Ambassador for being here as well. We're gonna give awards to some of our membership and those